The bass pounded so violently it felt like the floor itself vibrated with every rhythm. Neon beams sliced through the darkness, flooding the club with chaotic, electric energy. I only came because she insisted. It'll be fun. Stop acting dull. But the moment we stepped inside, something about her felt off. She didn't reach for my hand. She didn't look at me. She moved like someone untethered, too carefree, too alive in ways she never was with me. When her friends pulled her toward the dance floor, she didn't glance back even once. I stayed by the bar, watching the back of her head disappear into the crowd, a knot of uneasiness swelling inside me like a storm waiting to erupt. Then he appeared, tall, full of himself, walking with the confidence of a man who believed every room belonged to him. He didn't hesitate for even a second. He slid in right behind her, placing his hands on her waist as if she was his to touch. She turned, saw him, and instead of stepping away, she laughed, not nervously, not politely, but freely, playful, flirty, loud. She didn't remove his hands. She didn't clarify anything. She didn't even mention she had a husband standing in the same building. When he traced his hand slowly down her waist, she giggled like a teenager chasing the attention of the loudest guy in school. That sound, her laugh, that was a moment something inside me snapped. It wasn't just a physical touch. It was the way she looked at him, leaned into him, acted like she wasn't tied to a man who had given her everything. She knew I was watching. She knew exactly where I stood. And still, she crossed the line with a smile. My grip tightened around my glass until it almost cracked. Every part of me wanted to storm across the dance floor and rip them apart. But I didn't. I stood there, watching her sink deeper into her own ruin. Her friends noticed the way I stared. Their excitement shifted into discomfort. One whispered in her ear, probably warning her that I had seen everything. She flicked her gaze toward me for a single second and smiled. Not a loving smile, not an apologetic one, but a smug, challenging smirk, as if asking, "And what exactly will you do about it?" Before I could react, she turned back to him, pressing herself even closer, continuing to dance like nothing mattered. That was the moment the clarity settled in my chest. Not rage, not heartbreak, just understanding. I set my drink down, pulled out my phone, and opened a hidden folder she never knew existed, filled with screenshots, messages, and nights that didn't match her stories. I had been patient. I had given her chance after chance. But tonight, she made her choice. I walked toward the exit, not toward her. Calm, steady, almost peaceful. The bouncer nodded as I passed, unaware he had just witnessed the moment my marriage ended. But I didn't leave. I climbed up to the VIP balcony overlooking the dance floor. From there, everyone could see me, especially her. I lifted my phone, turned on the flash, and snapped a photo. Her with him. Her smiling, his hand still gripping her waist. The sudden flash made her freeze mid-laugh. She looked up, and our eyes locked across the club like a bullet hitting its target. Her smile vanished immediately. She tore the guy's hands off her like they were burning her skin. The music blared, but her world went silent. She tried to push through the crowd toward me, but by then I was already walking down the stairs, moving toward her with a calmness far more frightening than anger could ever be. People turned to look, sensing something real, heavy, irreversible was unfolding. When I reached her, she opened her mouth, but no sound came out. Her lips shook. Her hands shook. Even her breathing faltered. I raised my phone and showed her the picture, her laughing while another man touched her like she belonged to him. Her knees almost gave out. The guy behind her looked confused, then ashamed, then terrified when he realized who I was. I didn't shout. I didn't insult her. I simply said, loud enough for everyone around us to hear, "This is the last time you ever disrespect me." The club fell silent. Even the DJ lowered the music. She grabbed at my arm, choking out apologies, insisting it was a joke, that she didn't mean it, that it was harmless fun, but her voice cracked with every excuse. Her friend stared in horror. The guy slowly backed away, wanting no part of what he had stepped into. I pulled my arm out of her grip, shaking my head. When she saw me truly step away from her, something in her completely collapsed. For the first time, she realized she had lost control. I turned and walked toward the exit. Not out of anger, but out of self-respect she never believed I had. She chased after me, barefoot, makeup smeared, hair a mess, crying loudly enough for the entire club to hear. People watched like they were witnessing a live drama. The bouncer stopped her from following me outside. She screamed my name, but I didn't turn back. Not once. By the time I reached home, I sent her the picture and a message. Stay with the people you chose tonight. Her calls exploded. 20, 30, 40. I ignored them all. Her texts shifted from anger to fear, from excuses to full desperation. Then one final message appeared. The one that twisted everything. Please come back. Something's wrong. I need you. I'm scared. I didn't reply. Not until the police called at 3 a.m. They said she had been thrown out of the club for hysterically trying to get to me, then wandered into the street barefoot before collapsing from panic. When they brought her home, she looked nothing like the confident woman from earlier. She was pale, shaking, eyes swollen, voice shattered. As she stood in the doorway, she whispered the truth she had been hiding for months, the truth that hit harder than a betrayal ever could. I didn't respond. And when I finally closed the door, the entire street watcher collapsed to her knees, sobbing, finally understanding what losing me truly meant.